Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to continue the complete story of Percy Jackson, picking up where we left off at the start of the Battle of the Labyrinth. I'm also going to be announcing the winner of the giveaway at the end of this video, so make sure you watch the whole thing to find out if you won. Anyways, let's get started. Percy Jackson's story continues during his freshman orientation at Good High School. Here he meets Rachel again, a mortal who can see through the mist. Rachel tells Percy that something's wrong, and just then the two are attacked by two monsters, Tammy and Kelly. Luckily, they manage to escape through a broken window and meet Annabeth outside. Rachel leaves Percy for the time being, and he and Annabeth head to camp. Upon reaching camp, Annabeth wanders off, leaving Percy to walk through camp alone. Percy makes his way to the sword-fighting arena, where he finds a massive hellhound. Thinking it's a monster, he tries to kill it, but is stopped by Quintus, the new swordsmaster at camp, who reveals the hellhound is his pet, Mrs. O'Leary. Suddenly, Chiron interrupts their conversation, taking Percy to the Council of Cloven Elders. The council declares that Grover has 1 week to find the lost god Pan, or else he'll lose his searcher's license. Later that night, Percy is woken by a faint blue light coming from the saltwater fountain Poseidon gave him. He realizes it's an iris message, showing Nico D'Angelo conversing with a ghost, asking for a way to bring Bianca back to life. The next morning, Percy and Annabeth find themselves wandering the woods during a game designed by Quintus. They're attacked by 3 giant scorpions and squeezed between 2 boulders in a search for shelter. They realize that they've discovered an entrance to the labyrinth, a secret underground maze that connects the world, under Zeus's fist. Annabeth also warns that Luke might be planning to use this entrance as an invasion route into camp. Annabeth soon begins her quest into the labyrinth with Percy, Grover, and Tyson to find the maze's creator, Daedalus. Upon the group entering the labyrinth, it begins to trick them, sealing off exits and shifting its walls. Eventually, Percy, Annabeth, Tyson, and Grover find themselves at the Triple G Ranch, run by Gurion. Surprisingly, they also see Nico here. It doesn't take long before Gurion reveals himself as an enemy, taking the group captive. Percy strikes a deal with Gurion, agreeing to clean the ranch's stables in exchange for his friend's freedom. Unfortunately, Gurion refuses to free his friends, so Percy kills him with an arrow we later find out to be guided by Hera. Nico, still holding a grudge against Percy, refuses to leave with them. The group decides to stay to help Nico summon the ghost of Bianca, who asks Nico to forgive Percy, saying it wasn't his fault she died. Gurion's herdsman tells the group their next step is to find Hephaestus, saying that he could help them locate Daedalus. They travel, finding Hephaestus, who declares that he will tell them all they need to know about Daedalus if they find out who's invading his forge in Mount St. Helens. Percy, Annabeth, Grover, and Tyson head towards the forge when suddenly Grover senses the presence of Pan. The 4 split up, Percy and Annabeth continuing to Mount St. Helens, and Tyson and Grover following the presence of Pan. Percy and Annabeth discover that Telkynes have invaded Hephaestus' forge and are building Cronus' new weapon. As they scout the area, Percy is spotted and is forced to fight. I also believe this is when Percy and Annabeth first kissed. Percy tells Annabeth to report back to Hephaestus, saying he'll hold off the monsters. Percy summons water from himself, using every ounce of his power, causing the volcano to explode, shooting him into the air as he falls unconscious. Percy wakes up, realizing he's in a bed in a beautiful cave. He meets Calypso, who explains to Percy that he flew all the way to this island called Ogygia. As the days pass, Percy starts to really like Calypso, and in turn, because of her curse, Calypso falls in love with Percy. She offers Percy a choice, to stay with her on Ogygia and become immortal, or to leave to help his friends. She gives Percy some time to think over her offer, and this is when Hephaestus visits Percy. The god tells him that the energy from the eruption he caused awakened Typhon, but he also gives Percy a huge hint about how to navigate the maze. Torn between his choices, Percy eventually decides to leave Calypso. Percy boards the magical raft and sails back to camp. He returns to camp only to find his funeral taking place. Percy crashes his own funeral, sharing the information Hephaestus gave him about navigating the labyrinth. Percy and Annabeth find Rachel, the one person who can navigate the labyrinth because of her ability to see through the mist, and head back into the maze. They find Daedalus' workshop, in turn finding Quintus, who reveals himself as Daedalus. Daedalus reveals that he's made up his mind to help Luke, giving him the means to navigate the maze and lead his forces into camp. They're interrupted by Kelly, Minos, the ghost who is pretending to help Nico, and many other monsters. The trio fights off the monsters, Nico helping, and manages to escape the workshop. While navigating the labyrinth for what has to be the 20th time, they find Grover's cap on the ground. They follow the trail and enter Pan's final resting place. Pan asks Grover to spread the word that he's dead, saying that too much of his domain is destroyed. He individually regards each person there, except Nico, before dissolving into mist. The mist enters each of the characters, Grover getting a little more than the others. The group makes it back to camp just in time for Luke's assault. The campers, Chiron, satyrs, nymphs, everyone does their part to help defend camp. Even Nico, summoning multiple skeleton warriors. The outcome is looking bleak until Grover unleashes Panic, a parting gift from Pan, sending the enemies back into the labyrinth in a scramble. Everyone knows that Luke and his forces will be back as long as the labyrinth stays open, so Daedalus makes the choice to end his life, which in turn would destroy the labyrinth. Before he dies, he gives Annabeth a silver laptop containing all of the ideas and inventions he never got to make. Nico apologizes to Percy, forgiving him, and Percy offers Nico a place at camp. Nico refuses, and Percy lets him leave, knowing he must find his own path. Percy returns home to celebrate his 15th birthday with his mom and Paul. While tending to the moonlace Percy promised Calypso he would plant, Nico arrives, telling Percy he found a way to beat Kronos. Percy sees Nico eyeing the birthday food and invites him inside for food and a talk. Nico accepts. And that's where we'll end off. The Battle of the Labyrinth is one of my favorite books with so many impactful moments, so I hope I did the book justice in this video. Also, the giveaway winner is Percy Jackson fan, so congratulations. Please make sure to comment something on this video acknowledging that you know you won, and also so we can discuss how we're gonna talk, because as I said before, I'm gonna need an address to ship everything to. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.